The Gunners have taken over the South Coast as Arteta's Arsenal continued their perfect start to the season, emphatically collecting all 3 points, from Gabriel Jesus turning into prime Thierry Henry to William Saliba announcing himself to the Premier League. I think it's only right that we break the game down and analyse the 5 things that we learnt from Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 3. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boys channel. I already know that you guys are doing sensational as always, so don't forget to smash a like in the good mood and subscribe if you are new. And as I said in yesterday's video, your boy is going for the Football Content Awards, and if you want to vote for your boy, all the details are in the description and in the pinned comments. But let's get into the 5 things, and starting off with the sensational William Saliba. 2-0 against Palace, 4-2 against Leicester, and now 3-0 against Bournemouth. 3 wins, 0 losses, 9 goals, 2 conceded, 2 clean sheets and 9 points out of 9. The perfect start without any over exaggeration. In fact, it's the first time that Arsenal have won their first 3 Premier League games since 2004-05. To put that into context, that's when Arsenal was still within their 49 game unbeaten run. Going into this season, what Arsenal have done so well is make their signings very early and really perfect that first team, so much so that we now finally have continuity. And here's another stat that Arsenal have now named the same starting 11 in their opening 3 Premier League matches for the first time since 2003-04, the Invincibles year. Mikel Arteta has found cohesion and a winning formula, and of that team, one of the pillars has been the returning William Saliba, who in this game once again was sensational. He has become a fan's favourite, and Arsenal fans have already given him his own chance. The chant was so good that, as Arteta said after the game, the boys were singing it in the dressing room. It is a good song. Man of the match against Crystal Palace, and in this game again he was up there with the best Arsenal players. Not only scoring a goal, but completing 100% of his 75 passes. 2 out of 2 long balls, 2 tackles, 2 clearances, 2 interceptions, 5 recoveries, 2 ground duels won, 0 times forward passed, and most importantly a clean sheet as well. The goal was outrageous and we're going to get to that, but in terms of the ball playing excellence, 75 passes out of 75 is outrageous, and so much so that's the most passes made by an Arsenal defender with 100% completion rates in a Premier League match since Opta's stats started in 03-04. As Saliba would say himself, very top good sensation. And talking about good sensations, let's talk about his goal for a second. Do you understand the technique to smack a ball top bins on your weaker foot, by the way? Moving like prime Kevin De Bruyne, stroking the ball into the back of the net, it screams arrogance. And even Zinchenko's reaction to the goal itself sums it all up. He can't believe it. Also leaving the Arsenal set-piece coach Nicolas Jova a very happy man. After the game, when Arteta was asked if he was surprised about the goal, he said no, we've been practicing that all week. And Arsenal have gone from one of the worst teams in the league from corners to one of the absolute best, so a shout out to Nicolas Jova. But more importantly, in terms of William Saliba, not only was he fantastic going forwards, but defensively, when he was asked questions, and there was one part in that first half in particular where a Bournemouth attacker got the ball, they tried to counter-attack and take the ball up the pitch, but it almost felt offensive, the fact that he tried to take on William Saliba. Who did this guy think he is? Because we've got the Mbappe centre backs, this guy's a brick wall, and for you to try that in the first place, how dare you, young man? Even though of course it's not a brand new signing, it does feel like a player that has come into the club and elevated the defence, has also truly elevated our build-up phase. And if Wesley Fofana is going for £80 million, then my friends, William Saliba is up there worth in the hundreds. Moving on to the second thing, and that is the right side clicks. And the first 2 games of the season, in particular the game against Crystal Palace, I myself asked for more from Martin Odegaard, but in this game the Arsenal captain responded in emphatic fashion. Scoring 2 goals is one thing, but also winning 100% of his aerial duels, 70 touches, 4 duels won, 3 touches in the opposition box, 3 shots, 3 crosses, 2 times possession won, 2 shots on target, both of which going into the back of the net. What we saw Martin Odegaard do in this game is take more risks, not just on the ball but off the ball in terms of movement. In that first goal, yes, Jesus is outrageous, but it's also very good for Martin Odegaard in terms of anticipation and movement to put himself in a position that if the ball was to get parried, that he is in the prime position to put the ball into the back of the net. But more importantly, the second goal. Jesus once again heavily involved, but what we saw from Odegaard is what you want to see from a captain. As Jesus lines up a shot, Martin Odegaard sees that he has the better opportunity and ruthlessly, without even thinking, he smashes the ball into the back of the net. Not only being decisive, but also showing the true authority of a captain, saying, give me the ball, I'm going to put it into the back of the net. It was a far better performance from Martin Odegaard, but he was allowed to thrive because of the better rotations on the right hand side. The reason why we've seen the left hand side of Zinchenko, Xhaka and Martinelli thrive so much more this season is because there's far better movement there, better rotations, whereas on the right hand side in the games against Palace and Leicester it was a lot more rigid. But in this game, what we saw from Ben White is a willingness to overlap, which is maximising the whole point of positional play football. It gives Arsenal a numerical advantage in that final third, and it caused Bournemouth a lot of issues, and the prime example of issues is Arsenal's second goal. Odegaard scores it, Jesus gets the assist, but Ben White's understanding of the space, the overlapping, and Saka's a little bit of, I'd say, pauser to slow the game down, to bring in the Bournemouth defender and then play through Ben White. It is the perfect example of what I've been looking for from the right hand side. Better rotations and better fluency in the final third. Moving on to the third thing, and that is Gabriel Jesus or R9. When Arsenal initially signed Gabriel Jesus, there was a lot of excitement because Arsenal were getting a very good player. But in terms of how good, I think Arsenal fans have been left just a little bit surprised, including your boy. Winning the Sky Sports Player of the Match, for Arsenal he made the most dribbles, most duels won, the most chances created, joints and most sprints as well. Very unlucky not to score a goal, but he got the assist for Odegaard's second goal, making it 2 goals and 3 assists. That's 5 goal contributions. More goal contributions than any other player so far in the Premier League. This game was a prime example of even when Jesus doesn't score, he always causes mayhem. And one thing that has really surprised me so far of watching him play for Arsenal, his ability to win 50-50 duels. Very well shown in Arsenal's first goal. A ball is lumped into the air by Ben White. It isn't a pass, it's more of a clearance. The ball drops in the middle of the pitch and Jesus kills the ball like nothing. A Dennis Bergkamp-esque touch, but more importantly, the physique as well to hold off the Bournemouth defender, to turn him and then take on 2 players like his prime Thierry Henry. He's able to identify Gabriel Martinelli on the blind side of Bournemouth's defence. That is elite attacking play of the highest level, and something that I have not seen from an Arsenal player since the days of Alexis Sanchez. This game was the epitome of Jesus showing why he is an elite outlet. Jesus has this very good ability of just winning stuff that he's not meant to win, of making something out of nothing. And that tenacity and that work rate is what makes Jesus the perfect away day player. Even though he has been electrifying at the Emirates Stadium. Even if you are to go back to his days at Man City, his best performances and best goals most of the time came away from home. And it's going to be very useful in tough games away from home, especially in the big games, Anfield away, Old Trafford away, the Etihad, Stamford Bridge, and most importantly Spurs away. It's about time that Arsenal finally have a player that also excels away from the Emirates Stadium. Moving on to the fourth thing, and that is Zinchenko, the controller. Zinchenko started this game as a left back, but did he play this game as a left back? Well, not according to the heat maps. As you guys can see, there's 2 very key parts here. There's the left hand side where he holds the width, but also a massive part of his touches came from within the midfield, almost playing like a pivot alongside Thomas Partey. The reason why Arsenal was so dominant in that first half in terms of possession was because Zinchenko was almost dictating the tempo of the entire game as a left back, moving into midfield and controlling the pace of the game. Zinchenko has this very innate ability to slow the game down just by a little second. He has the so-called thing of La Posa, where he never seems like he's panicked on the ball. He always seems extra calculated, and when he has the ball, he knows the next action. It almost looks like we're seeing a machine play a left back. In the first half, he won the ball a total of 9 times. And it's very important to keep that in mind, because if you have watched the Arsenal All or Nothing documentary, there's a very big part where Mikel Arteta has a massive go at the Arsenal players because they were not winning their duels. Having worked under Pep Guardiola, a high pressing team, If Arsenal wants to become an elite team at sustaining pressure, Alexander Zinchenko is going to play a massive part in that. He won't get the plaudits of Jesus, Saliba, Odegaard, but make no mistake, what Zinchenko does for this Arsenal team as a left back, it is very underrated, and without him, I don't think things would be as good. And on to the fifth and final thing, and that is more levels to go up. When you win 3-0, when you keep a clean sheet away from home, and as the XG shows of Arsenal's 1.70 to Bournemouth's 0.26, it was a thoroughly deserved game, and in that first half, it was almost pure perfection, as Arsenal had 8 shots to Bournemouth 0, 4 corners to their 0, won 30 duels to their 18, completed well over double their passes, had a 90% passing accuracy and 73% of possession. In that first half, it looked like Arsenal were playing with an extra man. That's how good they were. There was triangles formed all across the pitch, and the way that we were moving that ball around, it was almost with a bit of arrogance. The key word here is control, and in that first half, Arsenal thoroughly controlled the game. But in the second half, even though Arsenal scored a very good goal and still won the game, when Mikel Arteta was asked on if it was a perfect performance, he says still far. I think we had some very strong periods, but in the second half, we conceded too many chances for Bournemouth to put the ball in our box. I am proud, but there are still things to improve. How often have you seen a team win 3-0 away from home, and still you have the manager asking for more? It's the prime example of Mikel Arteta being a perfectionist. He understands the next step that Arsenal have to take. They have to learn of how to control games for a full 90 minutes. In the second half, Arsenal only had, I think, 45% of the ball. But look, I don't mind Bournemouth having the ball in their own half, passing around the back. What I don't like, whenever Arsenal did win the ball back, once again the likes of Partey and Xhaka were just a little bit too aggressive, and they were giving the ball away too cheap. I think a profile that Arsenal don't have in this current midfield is a Thiago Gundogan type of profile, someone that can keep the ball and is very good at controlling the game. Signing a player like Yuri Tielemans makes a lot of sense. But that's a topic for another day, and as of right now, Arsenal fans are allowed to be very happy and enjoy themselves, because as things stands, Arsenal are top of the Premier League. And looking to the future in Arsenal's next 6 games, you've got home games against Fulham and Villa, followed by Man United away, Everton at home, Brentford away, and then the North London derby at the start of October. Those next 2 games in particular at the Emirates Stadium, if as expected Arsenal were to win, that could make it 5 wins out of 5, and who knows then. For now, my focus is still on the Champions League. As long as Arsenal can make it there, I think it will be a successful season. But for yourselves, having watched this Arsenal team play their opening 3 games of the season, making 9 points out of 9, what do you now think is our realistic ambitions going in to the rest of the season? But anyways, that's the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, smash a like and subscribe if you are new. If you would like to follow your boy on all of his social medias, then the links are down below in the description. Also, don't forget to vote for your boy for the Football Content Awards. But that was the 5 things that we learned from Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 3, 3 goals, 3 points, 3 wins, and compared to the first 3 games of last season, we've come a long way. Anyways guys, take care of yourselves, and I will see you later in a bit.